Yo, what is up? Joshua Casper here with another Ableton Live video tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make what I might call an infinity vocal. That sounds pretty sweet, and it kind of is what we're going to do. We're going to take, it's fairly common out there, especially in EDM as they call it nowadays. It's where the last kind of syllable of the vocal just sustains while like maybe there's a build up or a breakdown or something like that. And then for this instance I'm going to be using a track. I did a remix for Shift Access Records and it's going to be coming out soon, and I kind of did this little trick in it and I figured I'd share with you how I did it. So I've got this vocal that came with the track, and this is what it sounds like. So that's a pretty nice vocal. And then what I did, and what I'm going to show you how to do, is this kind of part right here where it builds up, and I've just added some effects in the background. I'm just going to solo the vocal so we can hear what goes on right here, right now anyway. So this is what I'm going to show you how to make. Which is kind of boring by itself, but obviously if you put a nice build up behind it, it sounds pretty good. And in my remix, it sounds really, really epic. Right here, it's just kind of looping, but I kind of like the effect that it gives. It kind of like gives it a build up rhythm of its own by going, you know what I mean? You can hear it right here. It's giving it like a punch. There's a punch to it. Now, obviously, you can make it a little more smooth, like I've done over here, where there's less of a punch. But I mean, I think for the punchy dun da dun da dun is really a nice sound, and it adds to the build up. So if we just throw some, I've just got a Vengeance riser right here, and just my massive riser template, which you can go learn how to make and download. I'll leave links below. But this is what it sounds like with it. Just those two things in the vocal. You're the shade, you're the shade in my heart. So as you can hear, it's pretty sweet. So let's just go ahead and get right to it, and I'll show you how this is done. I'm just going to turn these off right here, and I'm just going to come in, and what you do is you come to the end of the loop or the end of the vocal part that you want, and you kind of find the last syllable or whatever you want to be sustained, and it's usually going to be at the end right there, just so it can kind of tailor off. So what I want to do is come right here, and then just Control D to duplicate that. And I duplicate it 4 times, and then I would just highlight that and duplicate it 3 more times. So I've got this kind of what is this, 4 bars right here. And like I said, I like that kind of percussive loop job right there. I was kind of lucky with how it came out, but if you wanted to, you could come in and kind of play around with some fades and things to kind of make it a little more, a little less bumpy. So as you can see right there, if I just do this, each one, and then maybe I could just duplicate it here, just so we can move forward with the tutorial. But what I've done now is I think I've smoothed it out. And you can still kind of hear it, but obviously you can just smooth it out. You can actually see from that. You can see visually that it's smoothed it out. We're trying to get rid of that bump right there. So if I bring this over, oops. And I guess you kind of have to go through manually if you want it that smooth. But I'll just do it real quick just to show you what the possibilities here. So as you can see, you can imagine if I did that for 8 bars, it just kind of sustains it without that percussive da 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 da. But like I said, I like the da 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 da, so I'm just gonna take this right here and just pull it over, just duplicate it. Alright, now for this second part, we're just gonna take this first part, duplicate that a bunch of times till the end. Da, 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 da. And obviously there's a quick way to do that, but that's quick enough for me. And what I want to do is come in and take each one of these fades, and I'm taking the fade, if you can't see, I'm taking the fade from the new clip and dragging it over to the old clip. And then what I'm going to do is kind of pull the other side over to here, and that's just going to make this nice fade for me. And I'm going to do that with all of them. And it's fairly time consuming, but if you want that nice sound, this is what you gotta do, man. This is what needs to be done. And that's just gonna make this kind of wavy sound. And as usual, you want to come in and do it a little bit more a little bit nicer than this kind of hack job I'm doing right now. But I try to keep these tutorials short so you guys don't get bored. You know what I'm saying? ADHD, Google, Facebook. Da 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 da. And we should be close here to the end. Jeez, nope. So what if I did something like just took this and duplicated it now, and then came in and just did that with that one. So as you can hear, there's a little bit of a wave problem in there, but you can obviously go in and fix that stuff up, that type of thing. But just for the sake of the time, what I'm going to do is just call it good, and especially when you've got a big build-up behind it, you don't really hear those waves. So the next thing I'm going to do is what I have to do is come in and highlight all of those wavy things, right-click, and hit Consolidate. And what that does is turns this whole thing into one workable sample, as you can see right here. And then I'm going to come into the envelope, make sure the envelope panel is open, and come into transposition. And then I'm going to come down here and just click here on the 0, and then I'm going to come over here at the end and pull it up to 11, which is an octave. And then I'm going to hold down Alt and drag to give me this kind of curve, because I want it to kind of fade in slowly and then come up. And what I actually did on the original was pulled this first starting bar, so it started off normal and then slowly built up. So let's see what it sounds like now. Sweet! So now if I put that effects back on there, and let's see what it sounds like all together. Sounds pretty epic to me. So anyways, that's it. I hope you guys learned something new, and we will see you next time. Later.